Welcome to GameRomp Easy Mode, a chill, easygoing podcast about video games and stuff.
Yeah, and we're going to talk about video games today again.
Yeah, it's me, Deanna, and...
And I'm David.
So, you excited about this week? Because I am.
Well, it's just another normal week for me, but we do have something to talk about together, I guess, because you've also been playing the game I had been playing.
Yes.
And
Thank you for recommending this.
Yeah, I guess you really liked it.
I mean, I liked it enough that I technically rolled credits before you, so yes.
Yeah, so last week I talked a little bit about Promise Mascot Agency, and I was not far into the game at all when I talked about it, but now we have both put a lot more hours. You technically finished it.
Yeah, I rolled credit and I'm just under 17 hours.
Oh, interesting. I don't know how many hours I have, but I know that I had just started chapter 3.
Oh, jeez, yeah.
I think it's chapter 3.
There's 4 chapters total.
Yeah, this is a good example of how different playstyles are for these open world games, because, apparently yesterday I had more hours than you.
Yes, by, less than an hour, but technically.
Yeah, I had, just gone around, explored everything, and just... Part of the game is, since it's an open world, there's just lots of stuff littered everywhere, and little events you can do, and things you can find, and...
I am kind of surprised that you got more into just going around finding things, because, I felt like I did, exactly the same thing. But eventually it's well, okay, there's only so many signs I can take out, and so many trash things I can pick up, that, now I should focus on the story.
Well, maybe it's because I didn't find fast travel for a while. I don't know if you found it a lot earlier than I did.
I know I found it before you, but I'm not sure where exactly on the, hour count that was.
Yeah, me neither. But there was one point where I was loving the game, but I had to drive from one end of the map to the other, and I was just thinking, oh god, I wish there was fast travel. You're in a little K-truck, you can get a speed upgrade, and
it doesn't
boost.
Feel like the speed upgrade is all that much.
I mean, I think it is, but it's still you're not the fastest thing ever. So driving around this pretty mountainous little island can be a lot when you're not exploring. Because when you're exploring and everything is new and you're finding the new areas and talking to new people, it's fine. But when you got a character's oh, I need to go over here, and then you go over there, and it just it can take a while. So yeah, I unashamedly looked up. I just Googled, does Promise Mascot Agency have fast travel? Because I needed to know. And yeah, you just have to unlock it. I don't know if that added a bunch of hours to my game, but for me, the big thing about this game that I really enjoyed is it kind of has that thing where so your goal is to make money, right?
Yeah,
because
half business management simulator.
Because of the story, there's story reasons. I don't know how spoilery you want to get. Obviously, I haven't beat the game, so I won't get too spoilery, but
Yeah, I'll try to talk in code, even for you.
But in basically the setup of the game, and this isn't a huge spoiler because it's right at the beginning of the game, and it's not the interesting part of the game, at least I don't think so.
I found it kind of interesting, but hey, whatever.
Basically, it's kind of you start with Yakuza stuff, and because of that, there's a debt you need to pay off. And you also have bills. So, I mean, this sounds terrible already. Oh god, I just have a bunch of debt and bills. That's real life. But you got your little mascots that you recruit, and you can send them out on jobs, and that makes you nice chunks of change. But there's also other things you can do, to make passive income. And that's what really got me ooh, I want to, get all this stuff. And part of that's eventually in the story you're able to help revitalize parts of towns.
There's just the passive income that revitalizes places outside of your area.
Yeah.
Which the first one is ridiculously cheap compared to the other ones, and it actually does help you a shit ton. So I'm assuming you kind of already did that, right?
I already did all of them, yeah.
Oh, okay. Damn, all of them?
Yeah.
I mean, I did do all of them, although I don't think I recruited... I think I still have 2 more spots in the last section. Because, I was trying to go around finding all those little dots, but it was mostly, items to sell in the shops, and not necessarily, the calling cards, but whatever.
Yeah, I still have a few calling cards that I need to get. So, speaking on that, basically, yes, you got this open world. It's a little island. in this Japanese, it's a fictional Japanese island.
I mean, yeah, I guess Kazumachi is not real, but like they talk about all the areas in Japan that are in fact real.
Yeah, there are mentions of real places. Like the main city you come from was Fukuoka, I think.
Yeah.
But
then
you're
it talks
not
about
there.
Tokyo and Kyushu.
Yeah.
And all that stuff.
Yeah, but the island you're actually exploring is not a real island.
Yeah, I guess technically.
So,
But they have like 1,000 islands, so who knows, maybe?
No, I read about it a little bit on some like interviews and stuff, but now you like destroyed my train of thought.
Haha.
So yeah, you got this map, and it's littered with so many things to see. Like, obviously, you got when you first get there, it's kind of like it's a little town that is struggling, and as you're contributing to your own business, like that helps attract other businesses. So like part of it's like, oh, there's new businesses here now. Like there's this new tofu shop that opened up, so you can help like promote that with your mascots. Or,
yeah, you literally promote the tofu shop with Tofu-chan.
Yeah, or sometimes you'll run into people in the world, and they'll have like their own stories and their own like quests, I guess, for lack of a better word. Like one of them that you run into early on is the dude that runs like a car repair shop.
Oh, Jose?
Yeah, Jose. And like you can help him by doing his little quest where he wants you to find a bunch of like paranormal investigation stuff. And he's like he's big into haunted house. Yeah, that kind of stuff. So you help him to do that, and then like eventually he'll also agree to like host mascot things. So like you're building community, and it's also helping your business.
Yeah, because there's like no real point to run a mascot agency if like the town is so down and out that they have no reason to hire the mascots.
Yeah.
I guess like in theory, you could send the mascots out to places outside of the island, but in game theory, like they have to stay here. So you kind of help build the town to make more businesses, and more businesses want more customers. So to attract more customers, they hire your mascots to do the promotions and stuff.
And some of the stuff is literally some of them you can just do quests to attract new businesses. Some of them, the businesses just come naturally, and like you got like a connection to the dude downtown who will help you like, oh yeah, there's a new business,
Yeah, the Endo...
Yeah,
Endo-san runs the business, the little business area.
And by like when you start the game, there's like nothing down there, but towards the end, like you can go and see everything just popping. Yeah,
there's going to be like 10 to 15 new shops that open by the end of it.
Yeah, so as you're driving around, you see things change, and while there aren't really pedestrians, really, there's kind of like a hint of it.
Yeah, they're like ghosts or echoes, if you will. But I think that just makes the driving easier, because you can't hit them.
It's not GTA. You don't want to be crashing
Although sometimes, like, okay, most of the people, quote-unquote, walking around are echoes or shadows or whatnot. But you can actually see, like, some of the NPCs.
Yeah.
And there'll be, like, I think at most 2 NPCs talking to each other.
Yeah.
And it's, like, the smallest of dialogues, but it's still kind of cute.
Yeah, it's nice to see people around. So yeah, that's like one way of bringing the business back, but the other one is like you can literally invest your own money into.
Yep, I finished all that.
Yeah, so
you do have to go around and find them. Yeah, find the improvement plans, but then when you do, you go to Sato-san, I think, is the one at the mayor's office.
Yeah, that's his name. Yeah.
So you go back to him, and then you can take your own money. Which some of the projects are pretty expensive.
Yeah.
Like, I think one of them is a million yen. But there is a way, I don't know if you've figured this out, a way to get a sticker and then it becomes cheaper.
Oh, no, I just paid full price for everything and got it done.
Oh, okay. Well, it's not a huge discount, but yeah, technically there was a way to get discounts on everything.
Was it from the Sign Man's?
Yes. I bought literally everything.
Yeah, Sign Man, there's a character called Sign Man, and he's like
he's for safety, like sign safety, like stops and yields and things like that.
He's a mascot, but he's not like a real mascot.
Yeah, he's not a mascot.
He's a human in a suit.
Yeah, he's that kind of...
Whereas in this game, the other mascots like Tofu, and they're just living...
creatures.
Yeah.
They're not humans in costume. It's
fun.
Would you almost call it like his version, like a mascot furry type of thing where a human's trying to pretend to be an animal or something.
Well,
he's trying to pretend
Sign
to be
Man's more like just a Power Ranger kind of hero.
Okay, I guess that, yeah.
I forget what they're called. Sentai, Super Sentai, I guess.
There's also the ones in the cards that are never NPCs, like the safety cone lady, I think.
Oh, yeah.
And then there's a plastic bottle man.
Yeah. They just don't, I don't think they exist in like the actual physical world, right?
No, I don't believe so. And actually, 2 of them, and I didn't find the second animal card until like literally the end of the game. But it turns out that like 2 of them were actual animals and they were memorials.
Oh,
Did you find any of them?
I found, so, okay, we're talking about okay, we got the mascots and then we got the heroes, right? And Sign Man was a hero, but almost everyone can be like a support hero.
Yeah, I think there's very few that don't, if any, that aren't.
Anyone that you help can like volunteer to become a support hero. They give you a card and they can help you in the mascot events. You can also find these support heroes just littered around the world, like their cards. And yeah, one of them was like a Shiba Inu, and another
Bear-chan.
one, yeah, and another one was a cockatiel.
Oh shit, you found a third one?
You haven't found the cockatiel?
I don't think so. I found a hamster.
Yeah, and then there's the hamster. The hamster's like Kaiju-san or something.
Yeah. Because at the end credits, there was a memorial to someone named Kaiju, and I'm like, wait, Kaiju, the NP, like the kid that works for you? But no, I guess it references Kaiju the hamster.
Oh, interesting.
So I didn't see that until after the fucking credits.
Yeah, but there's also a cockatiel. Did you get the upgrade for your K truck that lets you glide?
Nope, that's the one I never found.
You're probably gonna need that to find the cockatiel because
is it on the building?
Yeah, there's a bunch that are like on buildings. He's high
can't.
up, so
I guess that makes sense.
So yeah, there's a bunch of those. Sometimes when you do people's quests, they'll give you special hero cards. Like, did you finish Mama-san's quest line?
Oddly enough, no. I should probably go finish his.
Yeah, the one you get for that one is pretty weird, but very strong. So yeah, each of these hero cards that you get, they'll have like different stats on them. So imagine you're building like a deck of cards, and each character or hero, for example,
I think there's like 5 categories.
Yeah. So for example, like the guy that runs the train station, right? He's got the cat with him.
Yeah, Tato.
So his stat is really good in animals.
Yeah.
So,
I think each character has 2 good stats. And the rest are kind of quote-unquote trash.
And so like I think it's like you got animals, you got mechanic, you got people handling, and then you got like inner
There's like a
thoughts.
thought bubble?
Yeah. Or, I don't know what that represents, but it's like a thought bubble.
What's the 5th one?
There was a 5th one? Oh, maybe like physical?
I don't remember.
Or walking or something like that. It was like footsteps.
Oh, maybe that's for like when they get stuck indoors.
Yeah, or they trip or whatever. So depending on what events happen, like, yeah, like if you're one of the ones that happens, a dog will appear and the dog starts chasing around the mascot. And it's like, oh, you got to help the mascot out. So some of the cards will be better at dealing with animals than others. So, I mean, it's still just luck because you're just drawing whatever. But you also have some cards that will help you add more actions instead of just costing actions.
Yeah. I mean, yes, it is luck, especially in the beginning because you're going to have so few heroes. But once you get enough and you start realizing, okay, this is going to take 1 action, but it gives 2 action back.
Yeah.
So I'll be positive 1 action.
Yeah.
Or this one takes 2 action but doesn't give anything back. Or this one takes 2 action, gives back 1 action, so you're still -1, but it'll let you draw an extra 3 cards.
Yeah.
So there is technically strategy to it.
It's pretty simple though, honestly. I basically, whenever I play it, it's just like, yeah, I'm just going to use the ones that make it so I net not using any actions and then start using the ones that like take actions.
Yeah.
But I mean, it also depends on just like what you draw. Sometimes you just get unlucky and you fail some of the events, and it's
yeah, because
fine.
once you draw 1 card, you can't mulligan. So you have to decide if you want to mulligan first at the get-go before even going. I think the hardest thing for me, and I know I've had this issue with other games, of course, is that there's kind of like a timer, and like I think it's a minute long, but it still freaks me the fuck out.
Yeah.
So I've kind of choked up on that, and then I screwed myself. but it's fun. And it's like, it doesn't super damage you if you fuck up.
Yeah, it's like if they'll still finish the job, they just won't finish it well, so you'll earn like 25% less money or something like that. And their like happiness stat will go down a little bit, but it's not really the end of the world.
Oh, here's a question before I forget, because there's so much to talk about in this game. When you hire your mascots, did you ever fall to like a spread of the bonuses that you give them? Because I think I always ended up with the 5+ bonus, the 15+ bonus, and time off. And that seemed to be enough.
Yeah, that's a pretty good one. Because like some of the ones are like, oh, then you'll get to, after 5 or 7 jobs, they'll get a review, and then you have to like decide if you're going to pay them more or pay them a bonus or something. But that's kind of annoying because I did that with a couple of them, like Salaryman.
Yeah, I think I did that with Tofu-chan.
And it's just like, it's just another thing to worry about later. And
it's easier just to give them time off and they'll just come back.
Yeah.
It's like, whatever.
Time off can be annoying because sometimes you'll be like, oh, this character just finished his job and they're ready for like a level up in the
life satisfaction evaluation.
Yeah. But because they have time off, you can't do that. So you have to wait. So that's like the only annoying thing. But other than that, it's usually fine. Speaking of life satisfaction, basically when you get these mascots, you have to like negotiate their contract, which basically amounts to like picking 3 perks. It's not that big of a deal.
Yeah, it seems like the time off perk seems to give them the most. Because you can give them like the all the money ones and it's still not like the highest satisfaction. But you give them like the time off after every 7 jobs or something and they're like fucking ecstatic.
Yeah, and you don't even have to get them too excited because they start off as bored, then interested, then excited. I've hired quite a few of them at just interested.
I think I did that once. I tried to get everyone up to excited. It would be interesting to look at both of our games at the same time and like see if there's any difference in stats whatsoever or if it's just fucking whatever.
It feels like even the people, because you can increase their rate later. Basically, like some of them will have a base rate, like they will only work for at least 30% of the cut. Some of them will be like a lower rate, and then you can just add to it like 5%. So if somebody starts like at 15% and you want to give them an extra 5 and 10, another 15%, they'll take a 30% cut of any profit when they are, performing. But honestly, with all the passive income later, feels like I could just go into my thing and like boost everyone's income higher. And that makes them happier, I guess. But at the same time, I feel like most of my guys are pretty happy anyways.
Yeah, they always seemed fine at 20% extra,
So as you're using them, they have like it's kind of like an XP meter. It's their life satisfaction, whatever. And they have, I think, 3 levels of it. And each time you get to one, you get to like it's almost like Fire Emblem, where you get to like talk to them and have a little story moment with them. And most of the time it's just like, oh, we're having a chat. But sometimes you have to like drive them somewhere. So they'll sit in the back of the truck and you'll just drive them wherever they need to go.
Yeah, I think that only happens for 3 of them.
Yeah, not that often, honestly.
Thankfully not, because like I was getting kind of sick of driving back and forth. But on the plus side, when you do drive them to one of their like mission things, you can just easily teleport back.
Yeah, and you can just ignore them too. Like they can just sit in the car and you can still go do everything else. They don't really mind. So it's like, oh, now I just have 2 mascots in the back, which is funny because like you always have Pinky.
Yeah.
And eventually you get an upgrade where you can launch Pinky, right? But when
Pinky fucking loves it, and I love hearing her when you shoot her off and she's like, ah!
When you launch her, like the other mascots don't get launched. So
no. Do they have any expression when she gets launched?
No.
Oh, okay.
They're just sitting in the back waving and like wobbling around.
Also, when you get the upgrade to your K truck, I didn't get the glider, so all I saw was the little sailboat edition, so you can like move faster in the water.
Yeah.
Pinky gains this like little sailor outfit.
Yeah.
I think she gets the aviator hat or something when you get the glider.
Yeah. So she'll have an extra outfit for that. The glider,
so cute.
The glider has come in handy a couple times because I don't know if this happened to you, but a couple of times, I think 2 or 3 times, I just randomly run into like an invisible object and the truck just goes flying.
I don't think I've hit anything invisible. I think I always it was always like a small fence or sometimes the street lights I would accidentally hit.
And you would go flying?
A little bit, yeah. And then there was the one time I intentionally like flew the truck off the mountain just to see how far I could go. It went pretty far.
Yeah, there was I think I posted one. That one wasn't too bad, the one I posted. But then there was 2 others that were, I don't know what I hit, and like they just absolutely sent the truck flying. Maybe I'll see if Steam had recorded it and post those, but it's handy because then you could just turn on the glider and fly. Yeah,
I might have to try and find the glider at least once to try it.
Yeah, I don't remember where it was, honestly. I think it was...
I thought I saw a fox at one point, and then I tried to look for it, and I never saw it again. So
I think it was on the top of the mountain, actually. Have you been to the top of the... Yeah, well, of course you have been. There's a little bird you recruit up there.
Yeah.
And she's just like... Everyone normally talks in their Japanese voices, but I think...
She talks in chirps.
Yeah.
And Kokemaru talks in beeps.
I haven't found that one yet, but then there's also the guy in the tunnel, which is like this haunted looking yokai face thing.
Yeah, he talks in, how would I explain it? It's like
thoughts, expressions.
I think it's thoughts that go into your head and you're seeing something, and and what you're seeing is also a metaphor for how he's feeling.
Yeah.
And it's tricky at first, but then like I remember Michi said something to him, and it like projected this image of the clouds parting and the light coming down and everyone cheering. So he was clearly happy.
It's interesting too. I don't know how they track this, but when you're doing your life satisfaction with the other mascots, they'll know if you have certain things or certain mascots, because I forget which one it was. It might have been Salarlinian. I think his final one, he mentioned that guy. I forget the name of the little yokai dude that talks in that way.
Yeah, I don't remember his name.
And he had mentioned something like, oh, I was talking to so-and-so, and they said, and then it was just like an expression. So like even they talk to each other like that. So the game is like, oh, you have this character, we're going to make the other characters mention them. Like another one is...
I know Kofun.
Kofun and the little warlord bear.
Yeah, I think they talk about each other.
Yeah.
Like something Pinky was like, oh, I heard you and the warlord guy were getting really close or something. Because they both love history.
And I wonder, like, if you could just finish Kofun's Oliver events without having met that bear and it just wouldn't come up.
I don't know. That's interesting.
So, like, the game is like, there's so much going on.
Which is really surprising to me because I don't know if we'd ever get at this point otherwise. I rolled credits. There are not that many people on this game. Like, for all the work you would think this would take, a lot of names appeared in multiple categories, so they were doing multiple jobs.
Well, it's a pretty simple game.
I mean, I guess, sort of, but there's a lot of writing and story, too, and I guess that's, like, not the hardest thing to put into a video game. But...
And that's, I mean, one job for one person versus, like, mapping out the world and all the gameplay elements, because, like, ultimately the game is pretty simple and it's not too long, so maybe that's not, like, a positive for it. Like,
I mean, I guess because like I saw that like 2D artists, there's like 2 of them. 3D artists, maybe 4. 2 people doing all of the animations, and like, okay, yeah, I guess some of them it's pretty simple, but it's just, I was really taken aback by how few people there were working on this, because I'm used, I don't know, I guess I didn't really see this or realize this was more of an indie game.
Yeah.
I thought it was maybe a little bit bigger or something, so I was just like, wow. And for all the Japanese and all the highlights that they were about, oh, we got these specific Japanese voice actors, or even the guy that voices the Kappa character. He's not like a professional voice actor, he's just like an industry dude.
Yeah.
This is a UK game.
Yeah.
This is a British game. I'm like, holy shit, seriously? Because, like, everything's fucking Japanese. There are no English voices. It's automatically only in Japanese.
Yeah, I had read about this.
And I'm like, damn.
Originally, they weren't even going to have voices. But as they were working on it, like, somebody, I don't remember who, like, maybe they had mentioned, like, oh, this would be a lot better if we had voices. And they were like, well, you know.
It's expensive to get voices.
Yeah, but they went for it, and, like, apparently they had connections to the Sony guy. I forget what his name is, but some dude that used to work with Sony. And then like Swery is a voice actor in this too, which he Swery is the guy that did like Deadly Premonition.
Yeah, that's the guy you thought made this, or at least helped with it, or something?
Yeah, I edited that out of the previous podcast.
Oh, okay.
Because it was a false claim. But he didn't make the game. He didn't had nothing to do with that. But they approached him like, hey, do you want to voice one of these? And he was like, yeah, sure.
Yeah, so he's the crow.
Yeah.
At the shrine.
Yeah. It does kind of have that same kind of. I wouldn't even say. It's almost Twin Peaky in a way, where you're like in this like.
I think I saw someone mention that on Tumblr somewhere too. It's like if you like this in Twin Peaks.
Yeah, I haven't finished the story, so I don't know how metaphysical it goes into like this other world. But there are hints of like you're in this world, but sometimes you're not. Like when you're talking to some of the mascots, they're just like in this other pocket dimension.
Yeah, they're like at a different plane of existence.
And there's like a bunch of spiritual stuff and like yokai and ghosts and like.
I mean, two of the mascots are literally like demigods.
So yeah, there's definitely a little bit of Twin Peaks in here too. So between that and Deadly Premonition, yeah, it's no wonder they got Swery to at least voice one of the characters. And it's funny, there was also that teacher who's like a foreigner.
What's her name? Wambui, I think.
I don't remember her name. But yeah, she's like like many Westerners that go to Japan, starting with like going over to teach English. She's one of those people, right?
Yeah, they call it the JAE exchange program, I think, which there might be multiples, but I know the JET program.
Oh, yeah.
So that's a play on that.
Yeah, and when you talk to her, even though I don't know Japanese, I can like pick up like, I don't know, maybe 10% of the stuff I hear, but
yeah, you can tell she's not native.
Yeah,
but so it's funny because like, yeah, I can tell she's not a native speaker, and they chose her to do that voice for that specific reason. But I still can't tell everything that she's saying in Japanese anyways. But and I know I brought this up to you before, but like she says she's from the UK and she talks about the UK. And Michi also is like, oh, you left the UK for here or something like that. But there are a couple of like English words she said, but I guess maybe it was because she was in a way like already talking Japanese. She didn't sound like she had a UK accent when she said those English words. I
mean, you say that, but she says like, at least from what I've seen, and there could be more cutscenes later that I haven't run into, but I finished her quest of finding all her anime DVDs. And I think she said like 3 English words, and they were just, the exchange program thing. So that's like not enough to pick up an accent.
I mean, I guess. I don't know.
But yeah, there's a bunch of characters like that, and just there's a streamer too, like this girl who like is streaming at the farm, and
her I guess dad or grandpa, like Momo Peach.
Yeah.
Peach Poppy.
And you had already mentioned the Kappa that runs it. Well, he doesn't run a game center. At first, he's just collecting it. But then there's a project that you can help fund to like, you go to the town hall and like help, you basically pay to set up his game center.
Yeah, then next time you visit. Well, I guess, yeah, you get a cut, but I like never paid attention to that. But you go by the station again, and it has all the like lights set up and stuff, and it's kind of nice.
Oh yeah, you can do that for the train station as well, because the train station was like abandoned, and the guy with the cat is just basically there because like he used to be there. Now he's just old, and he just likes,
He's just a train otaku.
But then you can actually like fund to repair the station, and when you do, people can use it again, and like you'll see the train there.
There's actually a train? Because I, like, improved everything. I don't remember ever seeing a train.
Yeah, the train, I mean, it doesn't move. It's not, like, going through the tracks, but it's there.
Oh, okay. I guess maybe that's what I missed. Also, if I go back to try and quote-unquote 100% it, but maybe not really, I did find a 5th cat, I think. Because I know I found enough cats where their card became foil, but I think I have 1 extra to find.
I don't remember what they classify the cards. I think it starts off normal, then rare, then like super rare.
I just went by color.
Yeah.
There's no
it's like
foil is the last one.
It starts gray, then it goes gold, then it goes like silver, or does it go to silver and then gold, and then it goes foil where it's got like the rainbowy?
Yeah.
that rainbowy
Wasn't there
one's...
green too, or no?
I don't know. The rainbowy one is like the final level of the card. But whenever you do the final item in their quest chain or whatever...
You get an extra character.
Yeah, it's like a whole different one altogether. So he gives you well, I guess you'll see if you do it, but... Some of them make sense. They'll be like, oh, this is like this person you've already met. Or they'll be like, oh, I know somebody that wants to help. Did you do the one for the teacher?
Let's see. I remember doing the cafe one.
The cafe. Oh, yeah. And she gives you like that little, like...
She's on the sign.
Yeah, that little girl-looking thing.
Yeah, it's not really... I think it's a mascot, but it's not like a mascot you can hire. It's just the hero.
Because you can't hire all the mascots.
No.
Some of them are living their own lives. And that's another funny part, too. Like, you'll talk to, like, Salary. Why is this a tongue twister? Salary Nyan.
Poor you.
Which
Salary Nyan.
Yeah, a play on Salaryman, right? And he talks about, like, he wanted to go work in the corporate world with people and stuff. But, like, sometimes the mascots run into, like, discrimination because they're not humans or whatever.
Well, I think he's also on the play of, like, he did work in the corporate world. He gave basically his entire life, and then he got thrown out like trash.
Yeah.
Did he specify, was it because he was a mascot and not a human, or?
One of the mascots definitely mentions discrimination, but I don't remember which one exactly. So yeah, some of the extra cards you get are just other mascots, or...
I think it's mostly humans that become the heroes.
Yeah, like the one for the teacher is like some students.
Oh, yeah,
the delinquents.
Yeah, I did get hers.
And then like the one for the kappa was that game developer.
Oh, yeah, Princess.
Yeah.
Was Princess a play on the lady that helped this? I don't remember her name.
Ikumi Nakamura, I think?
Nakamura?
I don't know. That's a good question.
Because I was almost wondering if that was connection.
That could be, because she used to work in, I think it's called Tango Gameworks, and then she stopped to go do her own thing.
Yeah, because the whole story with Capo is that, like, Princess was leaving these, like, error codes in the game if you accidentally broke it, and, like, Princess worked for this company that had, like, a vaguely gibberish name I didn't bother trying to pronounce. And, like, they were overworking them, and then she eventually left and went back to Kasomachi.
Maybe. I mean, I didn't think about that until now, but yeah, it could be. Because she was one of the, like, the Japanese consultants. Because, like you said, this game was made in the UK, but they consulted with Japanese partners, basically.
Yeah, because there's the Japanese localization when the credits roll, but there's also another more specific one about... I don't remember what, but it was like a specific dialect that they were getting help on. So.
Yeah, I wouldn't be able to tell. So yeah, what else is there to say? I think we covered most things. It's
just a really good fucking game.
Yeah, it's like this little open world that you're exploring, and you're building up friendships and community, and investing in towns. Investing in the town by, like, you know, investing in certain things like the park.
The whole story about the mayor because he's a corrupt piece of shit.
Or you can invest in your, like, your headquarters, like, put in, like, in a new internet. You start with, like, 28 kilobyte per second internet. Did you get the 56K and then the cable modem and then fiber?
Yeah, and, like, you can actually see it upgrade.
Yeah, so stuff like that.
Because they'll show, like, you have the Love Hotel that you start in, and it's, like, just fucking gross. Yeah. It's, like, dingy, there's trash, there's bugs... And you have to improve it by, like, I think one of the first things I unlocked was, like, a water cooler or something.
Yeah, that was the first one I unlocked, too.
Then you can finally clean up the trash because for some reason that takes a couple of 100,000 yen to do.
That one I didn't find for a long time. So I had, like, fully upgraded the water, and, like, I had solar panels... And I had the telephone and stuff, and plants, like a bunch of stuff fully upgraded, but I still had like trash bags and bugs everywhere. Because, yeah, you have to find that the upgrades out and about in town. So, yeah, we'll go figure cleaning up is an upgrade.
Oh, and that's another thing, because, like, I think you had mentioned it last week, that, like, oh, you were interested in this because you're driving, like, a K-truck.
Yeah.
But you have to, like, not see it as driving necessarily, because... Yes, you're driving, but you kind of have to move around slowly and carefully around places, more like if you were walking.
Kinda, yeah.
Does that make sense? Like, you're in a truck, but you have to maneuver more like you're walking somewhere.
Yeah, and the truck doesn't exactly, like, it feels fine to drive, but it's not like again, like I mentioned in the other podcast, it's not like a truck simulator. We have to worry about all the physics and, like,
make sure... no, you can bash the hell out of this thing. Yeah. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, that they even make comments about that, like somehow this thing's indestructible, and you upgrade it with stuff like wings and a motorboat propeller, and like, yeah, it's crazy.
It doesn't make sense.
But when you're driving around, like, to go upgrade things, or like if you want to go clean up a shrine, you have to basically drive all the way up to the shrine, and like then you hit the button and he gets out. You never really get out on your own. Yeah.
And it's interesting too, because the shrines are the only part in which the janitor actually uses his broom.
The broom. Did you find all the shrines? Probably not.
I think so.
Oh, you did? And so you got the final card for that?
I feel like I talked to him and I didn't have any more quests to turn in.
Because, yeah, after you...
unless there's one somewhere in the ocean I missed.
There's a few on the islands.
Okay, maybe I did miss them then. Yeah. I'll have to finish that up. Okay, then don't tell me what the last hero card would be. I do wish I could have hired him as a mascot, though. But
yeah, when I saw his face on the map, and I was like, oh, I need more mascots. I'm going to go talk to this guy because he's a mascot. But he's got his own life, and he's got his own job, so he's not going to join your company to be a mascot. He's doing his own thing. And like, there's a few other mascots that are like that, too, that they don't necessarily want to be a mascot in that sense. They're living their own lives.
I feel like I'm going to end up coming up with more things to talk about afterwards.
Yeah, there's just, again, like, this open world where you're exploring, finding all these, like, I guess you could... It's kind of like any other open world where you're finding treasures, but the treasures here are, like, quest items and, like, upgrades and cards and stuff like that. So it's still fun to, find everything. And
another fun little thing to find is the different nail polishes.
Oh, yeah.
To put on Pinky's nail.
Yeah.
Did you ever settle on one in particular? Did you kept changing them every time they came around? Or?
I kept changing them until I think the last one I found was like these palm trees, and then I'm like, I gotta go back and change it because this is ugly. I don't remember what I put on it. There's also like an island that has a bunch of them all together. Did you see that?
No, okay. I guess I have to explore the islands then.
That one's kind of...
I came across 2 islands and I couldn't get up onto the second one for some reason.
you need a glider for some of them.
Yeah, figures.
But there's an island that has like a bunch of them all together, and it's just like, it's an Easter egg, I guess, if you played their previous game.
Oh, okay.
So I didn't know what they were, and they're just like a bunch of characters. It's like, whatever.
I know for a while I had settled on the blood red glitter, because I'm like, well, that kind of matches the bottom half of her, because she's like a severed thumb.
Well, she's a pinky.
She's a thumb.
She's a pinky.
She's named Pinky, but she's a thumb.
Has she said that?
I don't know, but the knuckle on... I swear,
I think the joke is that Michi lost his pinky.
I know, but...
and he found a new pinky.
I mean, I guess, but I figured the joke was that she's a thumb, but they call her Pinky because... haha, then you think she's a pinky. Because, like, it just feels like
I think it's too on the nose.
The joint on her matches more closely to my personal... And like, the width of her nail, I'm just going to go that she's a thumb.
No way, she's definitely a pinky. She's just a fat pinky. Because, like, if you look where Michi lost... Because in the beginning of the game...
Yeah, I know he loses his pinky. I know, he's Yakuza.
Exactly the same spot where Pinky is, like, her thing looks like she's been cut off. So,
I like the idea that she's a thumb.
Well, I like the sweet little imagery of, like, he found a new pinky. Anyway,
Okay, that's a fun little argument.
There was one part of... I think there's only one part of the game that I don't like. Maybe 2, but...
It depends on what counts as what you don't like versus what you think they could have improved on, but then I thought that before I knew how small the dev team was.
Yeah,
so I mean, take it back.
It's really minor things that don't really matter in the grand scheme of things, but...
do you want to do a count to 3 and then we'll say it at the same time? Which one we had the most...
problem with?
Sure. Okay, let me think. Yeah, okay, I got mine.
I said I was gonna have 2. I guess I'll pick the one I dislike the most. Okay, for me it was
1, 2, 3 election rallies.
Sorry, I forgot the name of the thing. The claw machine thing.
Oh, I mean, it wasn't great, but it's like, it's just extra money, so it's like a thing I can easily just. Whatever.
I guess for me, because I like the business stuff, I really liked the idea of like at some point in the game you unlock this thing where you can sell merchandise, and I guess the mascot company sends you the merchandise and they just plop it all over the island.
See, that's what kind of gave me a little bit of hint of like Twin Peaks-ish, in the sense that it's just fucking bonkers and it doesn't make any goddamn sense. And it's just like, oh, the masked, mascot gods from the void have decided that in order to get your merchandise, you have to play a claw game. Like, it's just absolutely out there.
Well, Pinky makes a note or mentions something like that. This is just how they work.
It's just weird, so it's just whatever.
But the thing I don't like about it, like, after you'll be driving around and suddenly there's a bunch of new dots on the map. And now they're just a bunch of, like, products that you can sell. So, for example, like a tofu...
acrylic figurine.
Yeah, stuff like that, right? But you don't pick it up and then, like, stock it somewhere. It gets put into the claw machines, and then you have to go to the claw machine...
and hope it shows up.
And, like, slowly push the button to make it go to the right, and then push the button to make it go up, and then hope the claw goes down and grabs it, or, you didn't just waste your time with it, like, jiggling around and it falls down.
I mean, to some extent, yes, but eventually you kind of get used to how it works.
Yes, but there are so many. So it's like...
you don't have to get all of them.
If you have... I don't know what the number of mascots there is, but, like... it's got to be like 20, 30 mascots.
It's probably closer to 20, but yeah.
And then each of those gets like a whole bunch of products. Like it's not just one tofu thing. It's like sometimes there's like a shirt or an eraser or like a phone case thing, or it's like there's a bunch of them. And if you want to stock those in the stores, the more you stock in the stores, the better the stores get. Like you're going to be playing this claw game a lot, and it's just not fun. It's slow and tedious.
I mean, the only reason to do it a lot is if you're actually trying to sell every single item possible. Yeah,
you don't need to.
I don't even think I got like 25% done with that.
Yeah, like I like when you do the other stuff, you're going to be making enough money that it doesn't matter, but I still kind of liked the idea of like, oh, I got all these products and we're going to put them out into the store, and it's just kind of fun to think about that. But in order to do that, for every product you get, you have to play this freaking claw machine. So if you found like 3 different tofu things and 3 different taro things and 3 different, salary nyan things, like you have to play this minigame each time. And like it's a limited stock. So you'll pick up like 30 of them, put all 30 in the store, they'll get sold out. You got to do it again. It's like, no, thank you. I don't like that part. But you mentioned the election thing. Now, I didn't finish the election. I'm still like... the mayor is still the mayor, and I'm still getting the notifications like, oh, it looks like Pinky's winning, but the election hasn't happened. I don't know if that's just like a story thing that happens later.
Yeah, I think it's part of the story.
Okay, so yeah, we won't go into that too much, but eventually one of their ideas to dethrone the mayor is like, well, why doesn't Pinky just run? So you have to... I kind of like it, honestly.
I only have a small problem with it. So
okay, what do you not like? Tell me.
I don't like that every time you go to the rally, you go through the same cutscene stuff to get to it.
Yeah,
that's the only thing that bothers me. Like, I understand they don't know which rally you're going to go to first, and I get that. But in theory, there should have been a way that the first rally you go to, it plays out the cutscene, and then the next preceding ones don't have to do the introduction every time. Yeah, because I know how this works.
You can just kind of spam the A button or the X button to get through it. But yeah.
Yes.
Basically, so again, imagine Japan, and they got those little trucks where they got the speakers and they're going around shouting and stuff, right? That's how they do elections over there.
I would love to see how they do that in real life, because I've only seen it like through this game. We've seen it play out a little bit, I think, in Agretsuko, because they have that too. But it's such a weird... like cartoon concept. The fact that that's how it might actually work over there is bonkers.
I mean, elections in other countries can be better, they can be worse. Like some countries, they have laws like you can only run an election for like a couple months, unlike us where it's like freaking 2 years.
Yeah. Also, I did kind of like, I forget at what point it comes up, I think it's when you go to Jose and get the upgrade for the extra speakers. And I think Pinky makes mention of it of like, oh, now we can, get louder speakers or something for the election, whatever. And poor Michi is like, that sounds like a sound ordinance issue. Like he really does not want that.
He doesn't want the K truck to be worked on pretty much at all, honestly.
That's true, but I can kind of agree with the, like, I don't want to hear the stupid shit blasting everywhere.
Back to the election thing then. So, okay, you mentioned what you don't like, and that's fair, because once you trigger the election event, again, this is another thing that gets added to the map. Like, different spots of the town will have the little microphone, or not microphone, what are those things called? Megaphone. And when you go there, the mayor is there, and you can challenge him to a debate. It's not like there's no time, it just goes on forever. It's basically like once you beat him at a debate, it goes away. So it's just a little thing to do. But when you go there, yeah, they have a little like discussion at first, and it's the same one no matter where you're at. But once it actually triggers and you see like the big like UI pop up, then they start having a debate about the local area that he's in. And the neat thing about this is
the more quests you do in the area, the better you do at the debate.
Yeah, like you learn more about what is going on in the town. So if you go up to an area without any knowledge of what's going on,
you're going to fucking fail.
Yeah, he's going to be talking about like, oh, I'm going to bring in developers, or I'm celebrating this thing. And you're just going to be like,
vote for me.
Yeah, you're going to say dumb things and the crowd is not going to like it. But the more you help out not only the townspeople, but also the mascots. Like one of the mascots is the little tamago egg guy that's running the spa.
Oh yeah, Tamageko?
And like the more you do his life events, he'll tell you like, oh yeah, this is
Tamageta.
I want to buy the spa, or what do they call it? The hot spring, because the mayor has been doing this. He's been bringing in developers, and he just wants to sell it. Or like the train guys, like, oh yeah, the mayor's not interested in doing this. So the more you do things, the more you learn about what's going on, and then you can counter him in the debates. And when you drive up to the megaphones, like it tells you, about this much, so this is your success rate. And like if you have 100% success rate, it's just easier. You can shout down everything he says.
Yeah.
But as long as you have 75%, that's still enough to win.
Yeah, I think that's pretty much the good enough where you don't have to do all the quests or know everything.
Yeah.
There was also one point, I guess it's the rally point near the cave system where you find the bat mascot. And this is going to sound so bad because I don't remember his full name either.
Yeah.
But you hold the rally there and the mayor says something about the Bat Boy mascot or something.
Yeah, he's the wrong name.
And then Pinky's like, you don't even fucking know his name.
Yeah.
And then I feel bad because I don't remember it either.
Well, this is something we talked about last week, too, about like sometimes in these games, I mean, we're not Japanese.
Yeah, so it's going to be harder to remember some of the names.
Yeah.
Because, like, I remember, Kokimaru, because, like, that's short and sweet, and I can vaguely remember, and I get this wrong.
Like,
I think Maru means, like, circle or, like,
Do you remember the, sorry, I'm interrupting you.
No, that's okay. My brain broke anyways. What's up?
The names of the two god ones.
Fuck me. Kaijin?
Nope. Close. Anyway, I remember them because I've been exposed to so much Japanese, like, video games and anime. It's Raijin and Fujin.
Ah. Okay.
And it's like, I would not know that if I hadn't already, played so many other games that use those characters or those, deities.
Demigods.
Yeah. But, like, for some of the other ones, like the Strawberry Bear,
Ichigo.
Is that his name?
I think it's like Ichigo and then something else, but I just remember Ichigo because it's just strawberry. So, like, yeah, obviously a word I already know, or salary nyan. That's easy.
that one's a
Neko
funny.
roll, that's fucking easy.
Okay, yeah, that one's
Tofu, obviously.
Tofu-chan, yeah. Some of them are, easier to remember, but then, like, people with full names, it's like, I don't even remember the teacher's name, and she doesn't have a Japanese name. Yeah,
like I said, I think hers is Miss Wambui. I want to say.
So yeah, it's perfectly fine that you don't remember all the names. Like, we have hard enough time remembering names of people in our own lives sometimes. All right, so...
Would you say there's a favorite mascot of yours?
Oh,
I like Tofu-chan at first. Because it feels like... He kind of feels like me sometimes. Just always sad and stuff.
I guess if I had to pick a few, my 3 favorite ones would be Tofu, Taro, and Salary-nyan.
Now, Taru, the jizz cat?
Yeah, the yam cat. Yeah.
The only thing I didn't like about Taro is, like, they have one sound for him when he talks.
He's like a Pokemon and he says his name a lot, yeah.
But other than that, I guess it's fine. What did you think of the Tetris pieces?
I didn't like those guys too much.
Oh, did you do all the life things?
I'm pretty sure.
Satisfaction? Because, like, the interesting thing with Osan is, like, she's clearly trying to hit on Michi to see if she still has it, but Michi is asexual. And did you not get that? Did you not pick up on that?
He's just not interested in women in general, I guess. Like, there was a point where,
I don't think he's interested in anyone. Like, the whole point is, like, he's so into his job. But Osan mentions in one of her life satisfaction things that, like, oh yeah, I talked to Mama-san, and, like, he says some people are just like that. He's not broken. So, yeah, I think canonically Michi is asexual.
Yeah, maybe. I know there was a time when, like, they were talking about his like blood brother or whatever they call it, and he's like, yeah, he's been into like women and mascots. He's like, I've never really been into that. So yeah, I don't know. I didn't really. I found their stories fine. I don't like their designs.
Why? Because they're Tetris pieces.
They're like blocks with like, one of them is a block with like sexy fishnet legs, and the other one's like the male version, but it's just a block with like pants legs. Okay,
but Pinky's just a giant walking severed thumb.
I mean, Pinky's not a great mascot either, but I don't know. They're just...
I mean, what is Kofun? Like, she's just like a green jade figurine thing?
I don't like her either, to be honest with you. She's definitely one of those on the low end of my list. There's also the 2, like, Raijin and Fujin. They're interesting conceptually, but I don't like their designs.
They're just fat little babies.
Yeah. I like the animal ones more.
Although, actually, I think I have one more life satisfaction to see of the gray one. Because I did the green one easy. I don't remember which one's which.
Green one?
The gods? One's green, one's gray.
Oh, yeah. I think I already finished them both up. Yeah, I haven't done any for that weird spooky tunnel one. I don't remember his name.
That's another one, a hard one to remember what his name is.
Yeah, I mean, again, Japanese names, it's like... Anyway, it's fine. We're not going to sit here and tell you that we forgot everybody's names. But, yeah, it's...
What about this story? Like, how far did you get with... Are you interested in the story at all? Because it's still Yakuza stuff. I found it kind of interesting, and I was like... That's part of the reason why I needed to finish the story, because I'm like... They're so close to figuring it out, and they just have this last part, and I gotta figure out what this last part is, too.
I'm curious to see what's going on with the mines, because, okay, at the beginning of the game, they tell you you're going to this town that basically kills Yakuza men. There's a Tanuki there, and when he sees you come in, if you're a Yakuza man, you get a curse put on you, and, like, previous Yakuza men that gone in there have, like, died. And it's like, why? Why do the spirits hate that? And, like, apparently there was, like, an accident in the mines, and it has something to do with that. And I'm not going to spoil more, because I don't know more yet, so I don't know. We'll see. But, yeah. Am I interested in the story? I'm interested in the characters enough to want to see more. Like, I don't know. It's fine. I'm not, like... I mean, clearly, we played in different ways. I wasn't rushing through the story. I was, like, just doing other stuff. Whereas, like, you've already finished the story and you haven't, like, done a lot of the other stuff that I've already finished. So,
yeah.
That's a positive thing in games like this. Like, you can do either. It's kind of like if you played Fallout 4, did you go have to find out what happened to Sean, or did you go dick around across every square inch of that world first?
I mean, that's funny, because usually in open world games, I tend to just dick around for the most part, but I don't know. There was something about this where I don't know if it was just because it was easy and it's just go here and unlock the next cutscene, because there's no, like, fighting.
Yeah, true.
So there's no combat that I have to worry about, and, like, I don't need to wait around to get good or some shit. So.
Yeah.
this was just much easier. And then I was like really intrigued and was like, okay, who's the traitor, and etc., etc. And
yeah, they're building up a lot around, and obviously don't tell me, around Pinky's dad. But then there's also like, I kind of don't trust his blood brother guy.
why is that?
Well, for one thing, Michiu's always like, well, he's been kind of wanting to get into like bad stuff. Like, okay,
guns, drugs, and
yeah,
people.
yeah, like they're part of the Yakuza, but like they're doing like, I guess the matriarch kind of wants to just stick to like gambling and stuff like that.
Things that are like, I guess technically are bad because they're Yakuza, and that just automatically means they're bad, but like...
Not human trafficking.
No, not human trafficking, not drug trafficking, not arms dealership or whatever. And it's just like... it feels weird because, like, on one hand, okay, Yakuza and gangs are bad. But then you always get these video games that are like... Well, I don't know how the actual Yakuza game series is. But the Shimuza... was it Shimazu? Shimazu family, right?
In this game?
Yeah.
I don't remember their name.
I think it's Shimuzu. They're like Yakuza, but they're like not really that bad. I mean, all things considered, I think the mayor's worse than them.
Yeah,
he's not fucking Yakuza, but that doesn't mean jack shit.
There's different crime families that do different things. So,
and it's just like, I don't know, is this the Japanese equivalent of making like all these movies like from the 90s or what have you about like the Italian mafia, and they're like, oh, they're playing it, but they're not that bad. But then again, I think The Godfather and like The Sopranos, they weren't actually the good guys.
Yeah.
So it's like that, but even more so. Like,
I mean, yes, that's exactly it. So that's why I'm not like thinking too deeply on it. Because yeah, it's like, oh, the noble criminal or whatever. Because like, yeah, we do a lot of good stuff for the town folks, and we'll make sure, like, when they were running the mines, it's like, oh, it's a co-op and everyone gets the fair share. That we had the highest paid employees because we cared and stuff like that.
I mean, I'm not gonna try and spoil it, but at least according to the story that they tell, they actually were treating their people well.
Yeah, that's the impression I've
like,
got so far. So
like, it doesn't pull a 180 and they actually like just decide to murder everyone in the mines or something.
So that's why I'm saying I kind of don't trust his blood brother who wants to get into the more bad stuff.
I guess that's fair.
I guess we'll see. But we're not going to get into the spoilers of the story because, yeah, you might actually like it.
Yeah, if you like goofy Japanese crazy shit, this I think would be right up your alley.
Yeah, it's just like a silly little anime story. It's a good mix of intrigue and humor. And
you don't have to worry about combat and being good at shooting or some shit.
Yeah, you only have...
It's not even combat, but the only battle system is the card stuff.
Yeah, and that's just math. And it's not even that hard math. Like, you get a life bar, and it's like, oh, this life bar is 30, and it's animals. So you have to find which card has the highest animal points to use.
I mean, that's not saying I haven't fucked up a couple of times, but...
Well, yeah, especially later on when the numbers get big. Have you ever had it where... Here is the other thing that I don't like. After a while, especially when you have a ton of mascots, sometimes, like, I'll send a bunch off to work at once, and you can give them items like onigiri and ramune or whatever, so that they can use when they're out there to help them.
Yeah.
Sometimes they still need your help anyways. And there have been times where it's like, oh, mascots need your help. And I open up the menu and there's like 3 or 4. And I'm just like, oh, God, I have to do 3 or 4 of these in a row.
I think I've only gotten one at a time. Even after sending out like 12 mascots. Yeah,
it's usually just 1. But there have been a couple times where it's just like more than 1.
Wow. Poor you. I have not gotten more than 1.
And eventually it's just like, I'm in the middle of something. I don't want to deal with this. So I have let a few just like run on their own.
I think I've done all of them.
But other than that, it's fine. And like, you have some of the food items are better at preventing accidents, and some of them are better at restoring stamina.
Yeah, I always tried to keep with preventing accidents because it seems like the stamina doesn't seem to be a big deal most of the time.
Yeah, you can just ignore it.
And like, I went to so many of the shrines, and every time you do that, it improves stamina regain anyways. So I guess like I did so many shrines at the beginning that I didn't feel it too much.
So I guess that was like the only other thing that I didn't like, just getting interrupted all the time. But
although I kind of wish that when the mascot issues happen, that they would kind of just show them at the actual location. Instead, they're always on like this weird stage thing.
Yeah, it's kind of, again, it's like some sort of pocket dimension. It's like,
but again,
don't think too deeply on it.
Well, not only that, but again, it's a small dev team, so
yeah.
It might have just been easier for them to do that.
Imagine like a Paper Mario battle screen where it's just kind of like a set.
Yeah, or some of the older Pokemon fight arenas or something.
Or just a JRPG battle in general. It's just like this little place where the things are happening. And there's still decorations, like sometimes like, oh, the mascot is trying to serve drinks and they're like behind a bar, or they're trying to cook and they're behind this grill, and then like the grill just explodes on fire and you have to deal with it.
I do kind of like the ragdoll physics though.
Yeah. And sometimes it's funny, the first one I failed, it was like being haunted by ghosts and like these like dark spirits come around the mascot and he's like, oh, watch out, don't let the evil spirits take your soul. And of course that's the first one I failed. So
did you get scared it was actually going to ruin something?
No, it's just funny wording. Like, sorry, whoever was out there, like maybe
you got dragged to hell.
Yeah, like there goes your soul. But yeah, they're really funny. Like, I think my favorite is still Tofu in the door.
Yeah, because that's a classic thing that has actually happened in real life.
And I guess it just took me by surprise, like the first time. But like, yeah, most of them are pretty humorous. Like, oh, there's a stalker. Well, I don't know if that's humorous, but the way he deals with it is humorous.
There's also one where it was like I forget the exact title they gave it, but something about like stacked boxes of like nuclear waste or something.
Nuclear waste,
no,
wow.
Not nuclear waste. It was biohazard, and it could like cause a zombie apocalypse. And then the mascot just like completely tumbles everything.
Yeah.
And then you fix it, and Mike Miller is like, oh, I guess you're just going to put it back how bad it was before? Okay, fine, whatever.
Yeah. I think I got that. There seems to be like a skeleton system that they're using, and I had something similar to that, but it was just boxes of products at the store, and like the mascot crashes into it, and then after they put it, if you're successful in the event, they'll start piling it back up together, but she piles it up in the exact same precarious way.
Yeah. And then there's later on that you'll get to it, and one of the challenges was it was just literally like another stage, and Mike Miller, the mascot that does the live streams, he's like, oh, don't bump into the stage or it'll just fall completely in something, and then the mascot bumps into it and he's like, what did I just say?
Yeah.
I said it was gonna fall.
I had something similar to that. It was like a stall, like a food stall set up at a festival. He's like, this looks so precariously made, be careful, don't run into it. And it's exactly what the mascot does, just runs full speed into it and crashes it down.
You dumb bastard.
Yeah, it's funny. It's a really good game in that sense. Like, it's tough sometimes to be humorous in games, but I think they
nailed it.
Yeah, I've definitely heard you laughing out loud a lot.
I mean, it's just like Pinky, like just she's so ridiculous, and just bringing up certain like real life things and in a humorous way. Or in the very beginning, Pinky's like, oh, another violence liker. And it's just like, I don't know.
Yeah, the writing's good.
It's good. I took some screenshots. I don't know if any of them are going to come out well enough or not, but...
Yeah, you should post some of your favorites if they're not too spoilery.
Yeah, I don't think any of them are really spoilery, so... It's just good.
I think it's safe to say we both highly recommend it.
Yes.
And I think well, by the time we edit this podcast, it probably won't be, but like right now it's on sale. I paid like $20 for it. I think it's like 25.
Even if you pay full price, it's totally worth it. So support these developers. I think it's like Kaizen or something they call it.
I don't know. I don't know the name of the.
They only have 2 games so far. I don't know if you'd want to check out the other one or not. Probably not. But at least this one's good. Yeah,
this one's I just like mascots in general. I've always loved that about Japan. Like, so many things have just a cute little fun mascot, and it's like we don't really seem to do that over here. When we do have mascots, they're just ugly.
And then even then we had to get rid of some mascots for,
or they get changed to be uglier. Like, think of the Chuck E. Cheese mouse thing.
Okay, there is the issue we have here of turning all the good 2D stuff into 3D stuff.
Not even just that, but like they make it. He's like some little kid now, whereas the mascots in Japan are just like these kind of like chubby little super deformed things. And maybe
they're also like a mixture of things too.
Yeah, maybe it's because they're just, I don't know, they got the kawaii culture or whatever they call it. Whereas here, like a lot of the mascots, like, I mean, don't get me wrong, I like the Burger King mascot. He's pretty funny.
He was good, and then everyone's like, "Oh, he didn't pull well" or some shit.
But then you have stuff like the Geico Gecko or whatever, or the General for the insurance company,
or Flo for insurance.
Yeah, like we just have a bunch of shitty mascots over here, and even like the cereal mascots have become less cute somehow.
Yeah, because again, they took them from 2D and tried to 3D them.
Yeah, I don't know, man. So yeah, I've always liked the mascots in general, whereas like I think their previous game is more about like gods and stuff. There's an island. If you go back to play this, you're going to find on the map there's a little spot with a bunch of dots all lined up. And that's like the Easter egg island where they have like a bunch of art from their previous game. And no shame to them if like the art's fine, but it doesn't look appealing to me in the same way that these little mascot things do. But I don't know. This game was amazing, so hopefully it's successful. I don't know if I have anything else to say about it because I haven't finished it. And even if I did, I probably wouldn't want to spoil it.
Yeah, that's fair. The only thing I ask of you, well, I mean, I'm sure we'll talk about this outside of the podcast, but I am curious how you'll deal with the very last question of the story, I guess. There's like one more choice you have to make, and I'm curious which choice you end up taking. Okay.
Trying to think if there's anything else, but there's definitely a few things that I would tell you to make sure to do. Make sure to finish Mama-san's quest line to get the extra card.
True.
That one was weird.
I guess it's just hard for me because the icon for Mama-san never turned red again for me. So I'm like, I never bothered to go back and check.
Yeah, Mama-san's town quest is just come back every so often to tell him how you've been doing in the town. Whereas some of them are more obvious, like, oh, find all my anime DVDs or find all the games.
Okay, I guess I must have not read that or read it and forgot it immediately.
I'm sure you can go back and just finish it straight away, because that's what I did. I went back to buy some food, and I was like, oh, the town quest thing's active. And I just finished all of them in one go, basically.
Oh, okay.
But there's also I think Sato is another one that's tough, because you need to find his, he likes an idol group, and you have to find the vending machines.
A couple of them.
I found like 2 of them too, but because they're not dots on the map, it's kind of harder to like finish that one.
Yeah, because I try to check all the vending machines when I go past them, but
they're kind of like out.
I don't remember which ones I visited or not.
Yeah, I think they're more like out of the way ones, because the 2 that I remember was like one was on top of the haunted tunnel, and then another one was like up on this mountain by a shrine. So it's probably not going to be the ones that are just like in civilization areas.
Yeah, I guess that's fair.
But yeah, I think those were the 2 that were kind of weird. But you don't even you already finished the game, so it's like you don't need to do all that stuff to beat the game. But
no, but the story is so good. Even the side quests are so good. It's just
and every time you do you bring back like a thing or whatever, they tell you more about themselves, and you learn more about the character or their story. So yeah, it's a good game. Give it a shot if it sounds interesting. I think I've heard other people mentioning it too, but
you know, it's probably silly, but this game almost makes me want to study more Japanese, because I just really like how it sounds.
I think I heard the besties talk about this on one of the episodes.
So
that's
probably it would surprise me if they didn't.
That's probably where I got where I learned about it and wanted to play it. Because originally, that hearing them talk about it, but also because oh, you're driving a K-truck, kind of reminded me of that other K-truck game I played. So I thought this would be fun. But even though you can play it in first person, like inside the truck view, it's really not.
Wait, you can?
Yeah, you can change the camera view to be first person.
I never bothered.
And if you're just driving around the streets, that's fine. But as soon as you're trying to collect stuff or
that sounds like a mess.
Yeah, but the option's there if you want to try to play it as a truck sim. Anyway,
if you want to be weird about it.
Yeah. All right, I think that's good for now.
Yeah, I think we did more than enough about this. So
Yeah, there's really not much more to say without spoiling stuff, but
Yeah. Go buy it. Go play it. Go
it's
enjoy
fun.
it.
It's cute. It's funny.
And tell us what your favorite mascot is. Okay, we love you. Bye. See ya.
Alrighty, take care now. Be good.